an email, you won't read it.
Okay, now if you send me market stats by that text message, would I read it though?
No, something quick.
It's
It has to be
intrusive.
quick.
It's a quick
not-
It's just the
You're invading your
wrong,
privacy, your space.
that's it, so it's the wrong channel for that message.
Yeah,
We want to deliver that message just across the right channel.
right.
So again, how are we delivering it? Text message is not the right
18
channel,
screens later.
right? That said, you cannot hire anybody for text message. So the 7, there's 3 that are on you and nobody else. Then you get into direct mail, okay? And that you can hire somebody for. And I don't just say that because like, you can hire me for that. I just say that in general, like, you can hire people to do that for you. As Zan noticed, we really do some cool stuff. This is 12 years ago where we started with direct mail. We actually started with something called VDP, Variable Data Publishing. Now, real quick education on this. We talk about a one-to-one business, right? Know you, like you, trust you factor. We talk about getting out there and talking to people. Yes, you're all part of the same group, but you're not all the same. So what Variable allows me to do is put you into my database, put your name, put the profile, what language you speak, what holidays you celebrate, what kind of house you live in, what kind of ownership style, how we know each other. Lets me put that in the database and then actually have a piece of mail that's going to be personalized directly to you from me. The nice thing is I can put everybody in the database and everybody's going to get a personalized piece of mail. It's going to seem more relevant because all the content is geared towards the individual person we're talking to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
In a very simple way. I don't know if you guys have seen my account. Yes, Dale.
It does.
So does that mean that if I've got people that are Portuguese or they're from Greece, you can customize that message to them in their language?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Depending on the holidays they celebrate. The front cover, you know, come December, holiday season. Some people aren't celebrating anything. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, right? What are they celebrating? Let's acknowledge that one person in their holiday. The more relevant we are, the longer we all pay attention to a message just for a second, right? So we want to use relevance to get out and build the MindShare. So when we talk about this VDP, we are the only company that offers it for you guys. Why? It's just a shitload of work to put together, pardon my French. It's a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort. We happen to master it a long time ago. Have you guys seen my calendars? Your names and the images, right? You've seen those before?
Is there any way that you can take your name off the bottom, or is that on every single page? Your name is on the bottom on every
You being the realtor?
No, it's just what I find when I see that on the bottom, and I've done it myself, is cut it off, because I don't want that stuff on the
I
bottom.
love it, I love it. So check this out. Here's the beauty of it. First of all,
Is it embedded on every page?
yeah. So like if you're the person sending it out, typically you don't want me cutting it off the bottom. And if I see, now this is the one I send to like the family and friends, so I don't put my branding on it, but if they cut that off, it's cutting into the
Okay,
image.
no problem. I just looked like it was hanging
They
at the
cannot
bottom.
cut it off. There's the beauty, and it's on every single page. Now here's the thing, why are they not gonna throw this out?
Oh, my sister got one of those, and she.
Because it's not about you,
She was
it's all
in
about them, right? I'm gonna send it to Andrew, I'm gonna send it to Greenspan, I'm gonna send it to Andrew. That is your client's name engraved in the image, on every single page. I'll pass these around after if anybody wants to have a look at them, okay? We've got different styles of them. We've got the wall hang, we've got a desktop version. This one I'll usually send to people if they're at a desk all day, this one if I'm sending it to somebody's house. But those calendars will get you more calls than you get on your birthday. I'm telling you they will. I've been doing them 12 years, I still can't understand why they're still so freaking
My
popular.
sister saved hers, it's 4 years ago.
It's
because
amazing, right?
everyone was Dean and Melinda, little
Right.
hearts and Valentine's.
You can put the kids' names, the dog's name,
Crazy.
whatever you want, it's amazing. But it's,
It was good.
there's the MindShare. So now you got this piece that's sitting up for 365 days a year. And guys, it's not cheap, it's like $5 to $9 a calendar.
How much?
$5 to $9. It depends on how many you send, which style you send, and what service level. You're gonna come to Richmond Hill and pick them up and go hand deliver them. You want us to put a stamp on them, send them directly to your contacts. It's less expensive than a bottle of wine or a box of chocolates, and it's got way more shelf life.
Do you have to be do the other stuff to do the calendars?
Yes, love that question. You do. Membership has its benefits.
You must have paid her, right?
Hey?
You paid her.
Yeah, right? Then I'll get you after the fact. But guys, real quick on that, because I got a bunch more stuff I want to go through. VDP, this is variable data in imagery. When we do it in content, back to Dale, your question there, everything in there is changing. Where would I even start here? The person's salutation, the language we're doing it in, the content, the way we're asking the question. Well, I'd love to earn your business. He's going to look at me funny, right? Because like, already got his business. So it's, thanks for the longevity and the confidence, send me some referrals. You're looking at her going, who the hell is this guy? Wrong question. So I'm delivering the wrong message, and I'm gonna get the wrong answer. So what happens with the get variable and your newsletter is the fact that we can actually send the right message to get the right answer. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? Now, why paper in a digital world?
Because nobody gets it other
Thank
than a
you.
bill. You get a bill in the mail. That's
Thank
it.
you. Bills and invitations, okay? Everything I receive is through here. That text message you sent me, that phone call, that social media, that email, that internet, it is all through here. Where am I not right now? At my home, right? What do you do for a living? You want to sell or help me buy or refer a home. So what are you doing with paper? You're not going, this is the be-all and end-all of my marketing. You're going, I'm going to physically give you something that you can now touch and feel, and there's something tangible. And by the way, you got it when you were at your house. And because you're at your house, there's a subliminal connection with the home. This is going to sound really crazy. And don't think I'm off my rocker here. But you've got to create a, I know you already do it.
I've known you too long.
I know. But you've got to create a relationship with the house. Right? Take care of my home. When I start thinking about my home, for some reason I think about you. MindShare. Why do we say Nike, Coke, McDonald's? Why? We don't even know anymore. So paper is the only channel that's actually going to connect with somebody's house. We've got the coolest, most effective paper there is. Now, the next way to communicate with people is email, right? So that's the fifth way to actually communicate with somebody is by email. We've got a wonderful email marketing suite, everything from automated email newsletters, which is different content than the paper, manual email newsletters where you can even just send out a just listed or just sold, or I'm doing a client appreciation event. You could choose somebody on your list, you could choose everybody on your list. We've got BombBomb email integrated, so if you're doing video email, we've got BombBomb integrated into the system, so your contact list is already here. All you gotta do is your BombBomb video, send it out. Geo email, so being able to actually map your contacts. You know, from like the MLS, you're able to send out listings to me every single morning based on certain parameters. That can be like overdoing sometimes every day. We can have you set it up where it almost goes out only once every 2 months, and it's branded to you. And it's got like 5 different listings that all link back to a hot link with the MLS IDX. It's all great. So again, there's a lot of email marketing tools right here. Anybody using like a MailChimp or a Constant Contact?
MailerLite.
Essentially, that's all built into this system, but it's not MailChimp or Constant Contact. We run the whole
MailerLite.
thing. But again, it's the ability to send out a mass email. Like, if I had 100 lottery tickets in my pocket right now, I said you got half an hour to send these out by email and by direct mail to your top 100 people. How many of you could do it in 30 minutes?
Well, with help, my assistants would
My
help.
assistant.
Okay, see, here's the deal. I could probably do that from my smartphone right now to thousands. Why? Because every time I put somebody in my database, I'm not just putting David the realtor, david@realtor.ca. I'm actually putting in a first name and a last name and a mailing address and an email address and a phone number.
Yeah.
And I'm finding them on social media. And I'm finding out their birthdays and their interests and everything else. So I can rip that in seconds. And we should all be able to do that. That's your goal for your contact list on a regular basis. Again, wherever you are in your career. So from an email perspective, again, we got a lot of email tools. We got total analytics in there. You can see open rates. By the way, open rates suck. They suck. They're like the most disappointing thing to look at.
Yeah.
Typical open rates are between 12 and 20%. So if you think they're not reading your direct mail, why the hell do you think they're reading your email?
Yeah.
Right? Plus, they say that we see like over 120 emails a day, of which almost 50% of that is spam. So like again, we said this before, we get more spam these days than we do junk mail in our inbox, our mailbox. So there's a rhyme and reason why we're using the channel. It's not just that paper is the be all and end all. Email is not the be all and end all. Now, I get not using paper if you get up and hug a tree every morning. But outside of that, we got to think about trying to build that MindShare why we're using the channel. The next way, social media. And they say be all over social media.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Do you find the millennial, that group, maybe it's better for her, because I'm talking to my daughter all the time.
Yeah.
Mom, why do you want a birthday card? Why do you want me to send you a Mother's Day card? Like, can't I just, I'm here, isn't that enough? I'm going, no. But they are very different in a mindset.
76% of millennials down in the United States of America believe that paper is more trustworthy than electronic media. 76%. Why? Because they know electronic media so much, they get clickbait, they get the virus, the links in the email, they get not clicking on that stuff because that's their world. So it's, when they get that paper, all of a sudden, it's a whole different thing for them.
Okay.
So it's, what are we using it for, though, right? It's what message are we delivering? So the whole thing with social is that there's a million different ways to be on it. There's a million different things you can do with it. Quite frankly, social media is a free platform that we can be friends for free. I can post for free. I can share for free. I can steal your content for free. Why are we spending money on it, right? And again, who are we targeting when we spend that money? Typically, you're targeting strangers. You're not targeting the people you know. You want to go after people you know on social, post on your timeline. And again, I don't have the time to get into the whole social media breakdown with you guys today. I am here for you guys anytime. That said, remember this, there's over 2 billion people on Facebook. So if you post this morning, why the hell do you think everybody sees what you posted? Right? So my point to that too, though, is just post. Because not everybody sees it. Like when I posted my first video that I ever posted, it was one of the most embarrassing things ever. I posted it, and after the fact, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I put that out there on social. And then you start going to presentations, you start talking, they're like, do you see my video? They're like, no. Did you see my video? No. You're like, all right, that feels better. Again, social is another channel. Use it, abuse it, but know why. Don't keep posting your listings because I'm bored out of my mind. That's not why I'm there, right? I'm there socially. Who had a BlackBerry?
Still,
I used to.
no.
Do you remember?
I
Do you
can't believe that.
guys remember Break Breaker?
Yeah.
Remember Break? Do you remember playing Break Breaker?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to beat the levels.
Yeah.
Wow, how addicted we were.
It's like Tetris?
This is the new
Same type.
Brick Breaker. Well, we don't even know
There's
why
nothing
we're
wrong
there
with
half the
BlackBerry.
time. Holy shit for the amount of time I spent on Facebook. I don't even know how I got there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then there's times you're like, close, I gotta get back to work. So again, social's another channel. It cannot be your only channel. Websites. Real quick on websites. We offer websites. We got some really slick websites that are $18.95 a month. They're complete with IDX. You can upload different photos in there any day. Yep.
Sorry, is that number 7, websites?
Correct. 7 is the websites. I'm going to call that online. Okay? So the 7th way to communicate is online. And you can go down this road of saying SEO, retargeting, remarketing, in-marketing, spending all this money online. Who are we talking to? Strangers. Do we have the budget for it? Maybe. Now if you did that though, once you get that lead, and like our sites have lead capture, they funnel right back into the CRM, it's a full circle process. But the biggest thing missing for most people's online strategy is the fact that when you get that lead, what are you doing with it? How are you converting it? It's one thing to capture it and spend all the money to capture it. What are we doing to convert? And again, as a referral group, you get it. We got to nurture it. We got to do our things and get in touch and everything else. So our system takes it from online and actually moves it into a database and starts to send out direct mail and starts to send out email. And in a second, I'm going to show you real quickly how you can actually go into the system. I'm going to show you a very cool feature.
So do you have the CRM built into your system? for
Yes,
that?
and you know what, guys? I'm going to take you in there right now. Okay, you all got a sample package. Don't pop them open right now, just because I'm going to keep moving. But real quickly, what the hell does all this represent? The top icon is a CRM. It's a full real estate CRM. We launched it in January 2016. We all gave each other high fives. We're like, oh my God, it's live. And we have never stopped building and integrating and doing more with it. It really is slick. It will compete with your top producers, your referral makers, your exacts, everything you guys have out there. This is true CRM. Websites we offer, which I just mentioned. The direct mail I told you about. The email. Social media content. We're going to help you with content 3 to 5 times a week. We're not going to post on your behalf. I'm not you. But I'm going to give you something if you're lost as to what to say. Drip marketing. Geographic farming flyers. If you want to take over a neighborhood, again, I'm going to strategize with you what your whole strategy behind it and your budgeting is, but we can help you with that. And then those calendars I showed you. So, I want to introduce you very quickly to Loop. I want to take you through a very quick feature. I think it actually is very relevant to today's conversation about calling people, how often we're calling people, why we're calling people. And you guys might look at this and go, buddy, that's an old style. We know what's going on here, but this is cool in the system. So I'm going to log into Loop. I go into my database. Now what this is going to be is that I'm showing you here is what we call calling with a purpose. Okay? Getting up every morning and going, if I do this one thing for 1 hour a day, I'm actually doing work. Like I can go and golf and go to the gym and do whatever else I want. Right? But a lot of people, like, Real quick, I had this one girl, I got off stage one day, she comes up, a client of mine, she's like, great presentation, whatever, and long story short, she's from Midtown Toronto. She's got a listing up in Georgina. So she says to me, I gotta go up to Georgina. I'm like, oh, I'm like, cool, you got a listing? Yeah. She goes, but I'm never doing it again. Why? She goes, well, like it takes too much time. I said, what do you mean? She says, well, it's like an hour and a half to get up there, do what you gotta do, then it's an hour and a half back. It's like my whole day. I'm like, you got a listing, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, you making money? She goes, yeah. I said, why is this a waste of your day? I don't understand. She goes, well, it's just so much time out of my day. I'm like, okay, cool. So let's brainstorm an idea for you here. What do you do while you're in the car? She goes, I drive. I'm like, yeah, I got that. But did you get the windows down with the music turned up? Or are you on the phone? She goes, well, I said, okay, so you got the windows down with the music running. Like, how often do you call people? She's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, how often do you call your contact list? She's like, well, you know. I'm like, no, I don't. That's what I'm asking. She's like, yeah, probably every few months. I'm like, all right. How often do you call people you don't know? She goes, oh, 3 times a week. I barely finished my sentence, and you could tell me how often you call people you don't know, but you couldn't tell me how often you call people you do know. Which is why I really don't know what to say, and I don't know why to call them. And that's where the preamble to this was. I want to go into that, but make the list, let's say, on Tuesday night or Thursday night, so that on Friday, when you're driving here, there's a list of people you're going to call already. Bang those out. Now we're doing the things we need to do. So, what do we call them then? Now, I've got my entire contact list in this system. I'm going to show you one feature here and let you guys play a little bit more after the fact. But, geo search. I'm going to go in here, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at a map. And I'm going to pick an area. I'm going to...
We can't see what you're doing.
That's good.
You're not plugged in? Is he
That's
plugged
good.
in?
That's good. Hold on. We got this. Watch this. Project. Let's go. Duplicate.
There you go.
Yeah.
All
Heck,
right.
where were you 20 minutes ago?
Look at that, eh? You gotta love technology, but Alicia knows my best way to fix technology is take it to its highest point and drop it. Okay, so we take this little dingbat. The first thing I'm gonna do is I am going to, and I'm gonna use like my sort of area because otherwise nothing's gonna pop up down here, but I'm basically just gonna go in and create a map, a little quadrant within my database or within the area that I work. And I notice here that my contacts, and again this is a demo list, my contacts reside in certain areas. So as I start to look at that, and we can notice where my cursor is here, that I actually have more than one person. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to clear that, and I'm going to zero in on that particular area, okay? And I'm going to start to create quadrants. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to say, okay, I know I've got a bunch of people that live there. I'm going to hit search, done, it found them. Immediately, I'm going to create a list, and I see I got 13 people there. Now, I did my big wide search. I found out on a map where everybody was located. I started to go, I got clusters here, clusters there. So I cleared everything, went back and created a quadrant for that cluster. Now that I've got it, I want to find a listing that's in that neighborhood. Go to MLS, find a listing. Let's call that listing 123 any street, and we're going to name it May 18, 2018, and this is for tracking purposes after the fact. So now, I've just created the search, and I'm running through this fast for you guys just based on timing. I've created my list. I know I've got 13 people here. I can email these people, but that's not why we're doing this. We're going to make a phone call. So I'm going to call up Alan, and I've got this subject property, right? So I call up Alan, hey Al, how you doing? It's David from ABC Realty. Just wanted to call you and say, hey, what's going on? Real quick, got this property around the corner, 123 North Street. Thought I'd just call you and let you know it's up for sale. Here's what it's going for. Oh, thank you. Planning on selling? No. Planning on buying? No. Anybody that might want to move in the neighborhood? No. Dave, I gotta go. I'm running into a meeting. No problem. Thanks. Just wanted to let you know. Do your little thing and get out. What do we do? Oop. Write the note. Okay? So write the note in here. Spoke to Alan on such and such a day. Told him about the listing, whatever. Close. Move on.
Can't do that while driving.
What you could do though is make your list on paper. See, I'm old school. I like my paper and my pen, but I'll make my list on paper
While driving?
with your phone number. Yeah, and then when I pull over, I might make a note of what we talked about real quick. Then I'll go back and update my database later on. If I'm sitting at my desk, I can go directly on it.
Sure.
But the idea, no, now, wait, I'm not making my list while I'm driving. I'm making my calls while I'm driving, right?
No, the issue is making the notes while you're about that call.
You can do a voice test.
Voice
We can
time.
do it like
Here's the other thing, guys. I'm not saying go through and call 50 to 100 people today. Just 10 to 15, right? you could potentially remember, and when we're talking about doing this within a 60-minute time frame,
These
it
are
could be
past
done pretty
clients
quick.
or-
These are people we know.
I don't know if I do that to my clients that I would know.
Okay, here's the deal. If you called me, real life scenario, again, my property, last year, springtime when the market was popping, I saw this house was listed at $1 million, okay? $1 million on my street. 5 years ago, I bought for $580. It's pretty good, right? $1 million, cool. So I'm like, okay, so somebody used this on me. A realtor that was in one of my presentations actually called me and did this on me. I thought it was a slave. But $1 million, I thought, wow, $1 million, holy shit, honey, did you know that like that house was up for $1 million? Yeah, honey, what should we do? You don't know we're talking about this now, but we are, right? You sparked that. Now what you did was, you told me about it.
I don't have any issues with you telling me what the price was.
Yeah.
I have, like, telling me that there's a listing in my neighborhood, that's great. I wouldn't like, as a past client, for you to say, thinking of selling, thinking of buying.
You,
I-
listen,
I'm
okay,
gonna
hold
do
on.
that.
Let's.
I'm not criticizing.
And no, and I'm with you, and I love the fact, I love I love that. I would say to you, it's all about who are we talking to, how do we say it, what do we say? I'm with you 1,000,000%. Being the chameleon, right? Like changing colors based on who you're talking to, for sure. Kind of just giving you sort of like that idea of like, what are we doing? We're just informing them. Even if we stop there and we don't ask them anything,
Yeah,
right?
I wouldn't go
The
there.
information is,
Yeah.
We've done a touch point, check. We've tracked the notes, check. There's the human thing. We can do our emails and our direct mail now and not have to call this person for another couple of months. However, what's going to happen now is, now that you've tracked it, okay, and let's just pretend we've gone through all of our calls. Now that you've tracked it, and we come back to the home page, and I can see here geo search reports. If I drop that down, and I see my report from May 18th, I'm tracking that property, it's like a week later, it's sold. So here's that, back to where my neighborhood was, $1 million, it was up for sale. Realtor calls me back and goes, hey Dave. And they did ask me if I was planning on selling or buying, whatever. Hey Dave, calling you back about 123 Anniversary. And I'm like, yeah, still not interested, right? Like, no, it's sold. Oh, what did it sell for? 135. Now, that was back then, different market, for sure. But think about it. I'm already almost double, and now you just told me this thing's up 350 more than what it was listed?
Yeah.
No way I'm not thinking about it. Who got my feet dirty in the sandbox? That's all I'm
No.
saying.
It was not ever about telling them about the property. It was
Right.
always about
But
saying,
that's
are you thinking of selling? Like, I don't like that. That, to me, that's a
Stay away
hard
from those
sale.
lines.
Yeah.
Stay away from
It's
those
kind of
lines.
like the sales pick, the sales, are you selling, are you buying is implied, the contact is what's important.
It's the contact. So what we're doing here is calling with a purpose. All I'm doing is informing. We could stay the hell away from the sales pitch. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's about
Call.
make a
Yeah.
habit to call those people every once in a while and let them know what's going on in their neighborhood. It's that easy. Because how many times people say, but Dave, I don't know what to say. Zan, how you doing? It's David. Hey David, how you doing? Zan? I'm doing well, man. I don't even know why I'm calling. I just want to say hi, how you doing? He starts to chuckle. Good, Dave. I'm just in a meeting. Cool, buddy. We'll talk to you later. See ya. How many times I probably did that with you? Like just random. Random.
Yeah, you stop calling them.
Hey?
You stop calling
But
them.
you hung
busy.
up, you kept hanging up.
So,
I did not
everybody
use
get
the
that
F word.
calling with a purpose?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now, real quick on that. So let's say we go into a contact list now. We made that call. We called them back about the listing. We told them about that. Now it's like, well, I can't call them again next week, right? How do we remember to call these people? Go into your relationship tab. See this call list right here? Put them on your call list. Target, 9 months, 6 months. How often? I want to call this guy every 3 months. Depending on who they are, depends on how frequently we'll call. Right?
Once
The
a
hockey
year for
team, you
Dale.
might see them more often. Hit save. They will now pull up on your daily call list, okay, and let you know when it's time to call them. At the same time too, and I know I'm doing this fast, guys, at the same time too, okay, cool. We've got this right there. Daily call starter emails that'll actually come to you every morning and go, here's whose birthday's coming up, here's who's on your call list for today, you know, here's your quick contacts, so if you got any leads from your website, it's gonna go in, here's the new people that signed up last night. Right away, it gives you what to do every single morning. You are not looking up at the sky going, what do I do? The last thing with that, guys, is when we go back to a contact profile, e-marketing mail. And this is where, if you notice this whole window just dropped down, I can actually sit here and say, from contacts address, let's do this. I'm gonna put in a location. Actually, what's the location here? No. I'm gonna put in my location.
1550 South Gateway.
Just because It's more guaranteed. Okay, property type all, within 3 kilometers, I can specify prices, frequencies. I can go in here and change the subject line in case I want to email this to somebody. It'll tell the person, the recipient, what I'm emailing to them. I can put a custom message. If there's no listings, just don't send the email, or send the email with the following whatever. Expand the search distance, so let's say this, show listings. So it'll go into the database, and it'll actually find 5 subject properties that are just relevant. And I could literally send it to you right now while I'm on the phone with you, or I could set you up on like a bi-monthly drip of this stuff. This is all about just getting their feet dirty and let them think about real estate.
So question, Dave, does this send you the actives and the solds?
It'll send you what you specify in there.
So
That's
you can
a-
specify
that's a good
solds or
question.
actives or?
No, I don't think so. That's a great question. Here.
Really? Because I mean,
Right here. So you can go property type, freehold condo,
No.
within, minimum price is maximum price frequency. No, I think it's actives.
so it
Yeah.
doesn't sell you the solds?
I don't think so.
I think that's an email you want to send them first.
No, I just, hey, the more automated it can be, the better.
Now, yes, and no, right? This part you can automate. Why are we doing it like this instead of an email newsletter? Because you already sent me a direct mail newsletter, because I'm probably not reading any of your newsletters anyways, right? It's just a touch point. This here is something I'll probably tap into and actually look at. Again, the system has that. Shreb has it, the MLS has it, you can send it from there. This is another way to have it more branded to you guys with your logos, your colors, and not have it come every day where it just becomes redundant. Okay, does that make sense? And I know I went blasted through that quickly. I will take you guys all through that again at a much slower pace if you need to at another time. You had a question?
Oh, I was just gonna say, when you're talking about that, I mean, that's a great system if you're delivering pumpkins before Halloween and knowing everybody that's in the area, or something that comes up in the area. Like, we've got Durham Live now, is the big thing in Pickering. But anybody that lives within a mile of that would be worth a phone call to see where they're on that. So, nice system to be able to say who's right in that neighborhood. You know,
Thank you.
or if you're in the area and phoning people and saying, hey, I'm having an open house on Saturday, I'd really love to see you, I haven't seen you for.
Or drop-bys.
Well, I was just gonna say, drop-bys, like you're saying that you have an appointment somewhere, it just got canceled, you got an hour to kill. Who's in my neighborhood? And you can, it's all mobile friendly, which is cool. It's pretty unique to our system. As I've got a few minutes of time here, just very quickly with you guys, sorry, go ahead.
But just when you're done the presentation, I have 2 scenarios
Cool.
that I want to run by.
Marketing, real quick on the back end, guys, so your contact list, CRM. Where's my phone? Is this a CRM?
No.
Does anybody know why they're using a CRM?
You keep track of your clients.
Automating all of it, or just
Organize-
helping us
organize
manage,
contacts.
right, scheduling, cool. A lot of people don't know why. We just heard we need it, but it's like, what are we doing with it? And then we expect that when we set it up, it's just gonna do stuff and like, we got a CRM, it's good. No, we gotta do stuff with it. So what we've done here is we've totally ingrained, obviously, your contact list into the system, okay? There's 3 pillars of CRM. You get your contact list, you got your calendar, and then what most CRMs miss is the marketing, right? So if you've got your data in a system, like, is this thing doing anything for me right now? Zero. It's just sitting here like a brick. It's a black hole. That thing does for me though. Because that there, my entire contact list is there. The colored chiclets tell me what marketing people are on. I can then select in there, I've got my calendar, and I could go in and organize it, sync it with Google, and I've got all sorts of different views. We share our calendar, we share contacts. Like, you can do that with your team if you got one. There's a task list in there, like, to keep you on task with whatever you got to do. But again, having the calendar and the contact list synced together is a pretty important thing. Then we've got that really important marketing. And like I said to you guys, you can set up your contacts on a 10-time-a-year direct mail campaign. It is very cool, effective direct mail. You can set them up on the email campaign that goes out 12 times a year. If you want to set up a website, you can. The calendars are available to members only. And then you've got wicked integrations of BombBomb. We've got a very cool online advertising integration coming shortly with a company called AdWorks down in the United States. So we're pumped about that as well. You know those guys? Yeah, those are buddies of mine.
Well, the one thing that you've done over the years since we were in a relationship together, not, it was a consensual relationships, so.
You get more and more interested.
She knew about it,
There's
right?
a hooker, that was paying.
Everybody said yes.
So, what it comes down to
This is why he dumped you.
you've got so many,
She's got her head down like, oh boy.
you got so many more components to this than what it just had before.
Yeah.
So really, from a realtor's point of view, that wants to really market to their top 10 or, you know,
Top 10.
top 200, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can do it, right? In a very professional, consistent manner. And all the other tools that you've got, you know, once I learn more about it, I mean, that's really where it's at nowadays, right?
Thank you for bringing that up, man. Guys, again, doing this 12 years, where we started, I mean, before 12 years ago, we were doing this for HP, Microsoft, little companies. We were a little business. We got the opportunity to master this technology that comes with variable data for print. So we started with the direct mail newsletter 12 years ago. And we came into the marketplace looking at the other newsletters that were out there. And we said, we've really got something unique, but now we really got to push the puck up the ice and actually get people to use this thing. As we started doing that, the influx of social media came in. I've been battling social media ever since in a paper world. It's been very difficult. We've introduced email, we've introduced CRM, we've introduced websites, we've introduced social. When I go through those 7 ways to communicate, and I challenged all of you to come up with an 8th, if you did not come up with an 8th, I'm going to tell you now, we covered all 7. I'm not doing your call or your text message, you're in person, but the system will help you stay organized to do that. The other stuff I can help you with. So in that world, that roller coaster of marketing ideas you guys have out there and all the money you can spend, check out that AMH theorem. Look at the Model T. It basically divides your group of people that you know and that you don't know, and then I ask you guys to put in the marketing that you're doing. If you've got a website, is it talking to people we know or we don't know? If you're doing flyers to a neighborhood, is it people we know or we don't know? And I'm going to, again, challenge you and say that most of you that do this, and I love being wrong on this one, most of you that do this, your list of marketing tools that you do to people you don't know is way longer than to the people you know. Which means you're spending way more money on the people you don't know. Which means, I love it. Which means your return on investment is not as high as it could be. Which means you're spending too much money and working too hard. And it also helps you figure out your budgeting. So again, no matter how long you've been in the biz or how successful or maybe not you are, just go through this little exercise. It'll be a real eye-opener to what you're doing. And again, it'll show you that this thing really does have the tools you need in it. Yes?
So I'm not clear on how your program breaks down. So if somebody already has a CRM and a website and an email newsletter, but just wants one component of what you offer, is that an option?
The main component, if you came in for just one, would be our direct mail. And you could do that. In that, I would just have a strategic conversation with you now as to which CRM you're using, what email. And you guys got to know that, again, doing this as long as I have, it is not coming from a sales pitch. It is just totally strategic. Because there are many times, and she's heard me, where I'm like, keep what you got, just use this. Or somebody will come to me for flyers and farming, and I mean, I love taking your money, I really do. But no, I'm not going to door knock. No, I don't have a CRM. No, I don't have a follow program. Like, do not buy the flyers.
Yeah.
Why? Because after 3 months, you're going to come to me and go, didn't work. You're going to be pissed with me. I'm going to lose a client. We're both going to be unhappy. If we budget accordingly, we have the right strategy, it's going to work for you. So it's the same thing. I just probably explore what you're doing. But if you want to do one thing, it'd be our direct mail newsletter.